Hey guys, it's Craig here. Okay, this is a short video, and it's basically the start of a new series I was thinking about doing with just a short video with a question that I have that I get from a viewer that maybe I don't necessarily know the answer to. So I thought the best thing would be to do is to shoot it out to you guys, because you guys, most of you are home brewers and you have your experiences and your ways of doing things. And so, you know, I'm not the messiah of home brewing by any means or any stretch of the imagination. I thought maybe, you know, you guys are the brains of home brewing. All of us together are the big home brewing brain. Why don't we fire it off to all the neurons and see what you guys think? That's what I'm doing here, okay? So, depending on how this goes, if this goes well, I might do this more often, in addition to the other things that I do on YouTube as well. So, here we go. The question for this video is, what is the advantage of doing a secondary fermentation? Okay, when doing beer, right? Now, just to give a little bit of background here, for you people who don't quite know what that is, you can put your beer into a fermenter and ferment it for a week and then bottle it, right? And that's it. Some of us, you know, keg our beers, but most people bottle their beer. But a lot of people believe that, excuse me, that beer is very carbonated. Okay. A lot of people believe that it's better to, instead of bottling your beer, transfer it into a secondary device, another fermenter, and let it sit for another week or two or some period of time. So the question is really, why not just leave it in the primary fermenter for longer? Because that's what I do. I don't touch it. Once it's in the primary and it's doing its thing, I leave it alone. I set it aside. It sits there. I don't touch it. I don't siphon it. I don't rack it. Nothing. Okay, and if it's a beer that I want to sit for longer because it's a darker beer, something I want to sit longer and mature a little longer before I put it in the bottles or in the keg, then I'll just leave it in the primary fermenter for 2 weeks. No touch, you know. You avoid risks of contamination because you're not moving it around in between two vessels and tubing and everything. I mean, of course we sanitize our equipment, but there's still a risk of infection every time you move or touch your beer, you know. So that's the way I do it. But I don't know whether that's the best way to do things, and people are asking me, and I don't want to implement my procedures when you guys have experience as well. So the question is, what's the advantage of siphoning your week-old beer into a secondary fermenter and letting it age there, rather than just letting it sit in the primary fermenter for a couple of weeks and letting it age in there? Now, I know there's issues with the sediment or the trub at the bottom of the fermenter. It builds up, the yeast does its thing, and when it's finished, it dies down and it, you know, gives off, you know, all kinds of crap, and there's a big layer of stuff down the bottom there. You know, you've seen that before. Some people think that can damage the flavor of the beer if the beer sits on top of that for any length of time. But there's other people that think that, or that say that the yeast is actually a really good cannibal, and it will actually eat its dead brothers and sisters. You know, it'll clean up after itself, and it will eat its own poop, and it'll just, you know, it'll eat everything in sight until it can't do any more, which means that it actually cleans up quite well after itself down the bottom there. And so it won't leave a lot of junk laying around. And so leaving your beer on top of that won't hurt. So there's two schools of thought here, right? And I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out which answer to give to people. Again, the question I'm posing is, what's the advantage of leaving the beer, what's the advantage of putting the beer into a secondary fermenter versus just leaving it in the primary fermenter for a longer period of time? Okay, that's my question. You guys, please post the answer down in the comment section down below. I want to hear all of your thoughts, all of your opinions. Let's get the dialogue going here, okay? and see what we come up with. Also, I would like a name for this video series. I thought of Craig's Quickies, but I don't think that's I don't want to say that. I don't want to name it that. So if you can think of a name for these short videos that I make with the questions I have coming in through my inbox, I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see which name we actually choose next time I make the video. I'll review them and we'll choose one. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here. Got my Cooper's European Lager here. Man. It's good. Beer is good. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out of here. See ya.